Hello and welcome. With over 881 million subscribers, the Indian market saw over 600 handsets launch last year. With so much competition, mobile phones as a category remains among the top 10 advertisers on TV in 2011. One of the biggest launches last year was in December. I'm talking of the Lumia, which Nokia launched as its first smartphone using Microsoft software. Now, this launch also coincides with a leadership transition at Nokia. Shivakumar, the man who's led this company for the past 6 years, is moving to Dubai to take charge of the India, Middle East and Africa region. I'm in Gurgaon at the Nokia office to meet Shiv almost literally before he takes off to get a sense of what expectations the market leader has from Lumia and also to understand how the dynamics in this industry have changed in the past few years. Shiv, ready, all set to go to Dubai?
Yes, I start there this week. Lots of preparation. Lots of things buzzing in the head in terms of what needs to be done. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Lumia launch because this is being seen by the industry as a game changer for Nokia and its fortunes. I mean, you're still market leader, but that quantum of leadership has really changed dramatically both in India and globally over the last couple of years, isn't it? So what exactly are you all expecting from this new phone?
Yes, we announced a new strategy on Feb 11th of 2011, where we said that the primary operating system for smart devices will be Nokia with Microsoft Windows. In that sense, it's a very significant launch. Okay. We announced that in February, and within 9 months, we put out two products, the Lumia 800 and the Lumia 710, in line with that strategy. We believe that in the past, it was a war of brands and mobility. In the future, it will be a war of ecosystems. So you need strong partnerships in the ecosystem. So a tremendously successful player like Nokia in the hardware is now cooperating and collaborating with somebody like Microsoft and Windows. So we believe that globally there will be about 3 to 4 operating systems, and the ecosystems around that is what will determine future alignment.
It's interesting that you say that brands will play a secondary role to ecosystems, and it's borne out by the fact that the buzz no longer is about Nokia and BlackBerry. It's more about, you know, whether it's Android or Symbian or, you know, software. At least that's what the geeks speak, and the geeks seem to be driving what consumer perceptions are. Would I be right?
I would say not fully right. I think some parts of what you say are right. The brand will intrinsically be a very important element for mobile phones, ever. You know, that will never change. That's because it's a huge personality statement, and it says something about you as a person. Okay. When I mentioned it becomes a war of the ecosystem, I mentioned in the context of services, in the context of applications, and how application developers will develop apps for a platform. It's in that context. So people will say, okay, the OV store has so many apps on it, or the Windows marketplace has so many apps on it. It's in that context I spoke of it. I think the fundamental, let's take positive signal of the brand in mobile phones is absolutely critical, and the look of the mobile phone is even more important in countries like India.
So tell me, what does this mean strategically for Nokia, not just in India but globally? Because, you know, if you look at publicly available data, whether it is the operating system, which is Symbian, or even Microsoft, whatever little bit exists in the market, and Android, there's a huge drop in shares. In fact, Android has overtaken you all with more than half of the marketplace globally. The same thing goes for brands, you know, where Nokia, where it still leads. It has still got the largest market share, but my God, how dramatically that share has dropped. So what really does this company you know, expect from this launch?
I think Lumia is
how much is riding on it, and how much of a game changer are you all seeing it to be, is what I mean.
Yeah, I think Lumia is a very big game changer. It's a game changer not just for Nokia, but for the whole industry. As I mentioned, you go back to Feb 11th, when we made this announcement, most people thought it was a defensive kind of a move. But in the last 9 months, it has completely realigned the ecosystem in telecom. So it's been a big game changer, not just for Nokia, but even for everybody out there in the ecosystem. And Nokia is giving its very best in terms of promoting it, in terms of the look and feel of the product, in terms of what's available on it, and more important in terms of the local apps we have in India for the Lumia 800 and 710. So Nokia is betting a lot on this transition into the Nokia Windows Microsoft phone.
Right. When you land in Delhi, just outside Terminal 3, the first thing that greets you is this huge Lumia screen. But my question to you is, when it comes to mobile phones and in this category, is the battle for the consumer share of wallet and even mind space, is it really being fought on the marketing front, or is it being fought on the technology front? Because, you know, so far, this category in India, we've seen play by the FMCG rules, isn't it? Thanks to stalwarts like you from the FMCG business. But is that something now that is going to change?
I think it's a combination. People want newer and newer technology. But the newer and newer technology must simplify their lives, must add a layer of fun, must add a layer of productivity, etc. For example, in India, we find a mobile phone is omnipresent. People use it 24/7. Okay, they use it for basic work, they use it for productivity, they use it for services like music, internet, everything. It's everything rolled into one. So the brand will be extremely important all the time. But if you're not catching up with the latest technological movement, where you will suffer is the innovators. Invariably, the leading edge consumers are innovators. And they are the guys who form the opinion out in the digital space and not in the physical space. In the digital space, they start the buzz around, okay, this phone is good, this is cool, this is what it has, etc. So I think the marketing of it will change. So if I were to compare it with the consumer products domain, which you spoke about, I think the first thing is, I think awareness alone does not determine sales in mobile phones. Awareness is very important and good, but that alone is not a determinant. That's the first moment of truth, which is awareness. The second moment of truth is when the consumer goes in and sees the display and the live device in the shop. That's a very big moment of truth. What does it have? What can I do with it, etc. And the third moment of truth is discovery. What can I discover on my own with this phone? Okay. And the fourth moment of truth is the community which I create around it. So I think in that sense, it's very different. You buy a shampoo, you buy a soap, you buy a detergent. There is no community around it. But technology products have community around it, and that's where the ecosystem becomes important.
I'm laboring the point a bit, but where is marketing at the end of the day, no matter what you put behind it in terms of marketing effort and how superlative that may be, if that technology is something people use and say doesn't work for us, it's not going to matter, isn't it?
No, I think in this category, more than any other category, the product is extremely important. The product is king. Okay. But once you have a great product, you have to advertise it even better than you do in any other sector in order to magnify the technological benefits, because those technological benefits will only last for a period of time. So the challenge for marketing will be to sustain the price premium and sustain the momentum of that innovation for the time that it's available, because you can be absolutely sure something else will come along. Okay, so you have to be extremely quick here. It's not about saying, okay, I have a product, it'll last 20 years, it's a, it's a variant, etc. Those things don't work here. So you'll have to maximize in windows of 6 to 12 months, okay, and not even years. And that's where the challenge of marketing is, to keep the price premium up and get the consumer to discover and use it.
Would I be right in saying that the Lumia success will be make or break for Nokia's future leadership position in the smartphone category?
I would say making Nokia Lumia work is plan A, and plan B is making Nokia Lumia work.
So I'm going to play dumb. What is the answer to my question?
That's the answer, because it's the most important launch, and plan A and plan B are the same. So there is no looking back.
There is no, this is it.
There is no looking back.